Hey, gun people. I've been trying to keep up with this Bundy story here, where the feds have tried to seize a man's cattle and a man's way of making a living, and then trying to pawn it off as he owes taxpayer money, millions of dollars, to pay to graze land that he's been grazing before the BLM was even established. This is a consistent federal laws and federal grab of power, ignoring state rights and state controls. They want to take everything out of the local law enforcement, everything, so they can bring in the feds. But this is a really great story. Most people's been keeping up with it. Today there was a good video, and I wanted to document it, but I wanted to show you this video here. Shows what happens when they pull out. And I'm going to go ahead and recopy this, but when I copy this link up here and I try to post it on Facebook, Facebook is censoring this video. So I'm going to go to my home page here. What's on my mind? I'm going to post this link and watch what a good old Facebook does. Sorry. The content you're trying to share includes a link that our security systems detected to be unsafe. I can't believe it. Please remove the link to continue. I can't believe that Facebook, if they're censoring this, what else are they censoring? They don't censor anything about, you know, the other parts where the liberal left is doing all their crap and government's trying to do all their crap, but they'll censor this link here. So people are saying, oh no, Facebook didn't censor it. You saw me just try to post this and it's censored. So this is the video that shows the confrontation, and I'm going to talk here in the background. They're trying to they're telling people to back up per the court order. The horses and the people are riding up saying we're not leaving, so they're going to block them, which again, in masses, this is when the people can stand up against government. Never is going to have more people than they do citizens, because it's just not cost effective. They need more servants than they need rulers. So government's never going to have the power of the people, but the people need to realize that government will always try to keep you divided with race, color, religion, social status, gender, whatever they can use.
The crowd is now moving forward toward the barrier. The police have been telling everybody they're going to shoot if we don't move back. People are moving forward with their hands in the air.
You notice the guys with the shields, with the
people on foot.
They've got their cars, they got their barriers. Nobody's really pointing a gun at them. I'll give them that. The guns are kind of straight down, which tells me they're not threatened. If they were really threatened, they'd be holding their guns ready to shoot and return fire. So this is pretty much just a standoff. Now this guy looks like he's trying to negotiate.
With Metro, all right, push these people back up off the gate. Push them back up off the gate. We're going to work to release these cattle. Listen to me. I'm going to work with you. I'm going to work with you, but I need you to back up.
I understand what you're doing. You will get that time.
Now see this guy here, he's talking nice and everything, and he's just trying to do his job, the old saying, you know, but what's going on is he wants them to move away from the cage so they can release the cattle. That's not necessary. This is just government, kind of like they want to force control, see how much the people will take.
We'll make sure that we're not going to need some help if they decide that they're going to pull those pins, but it's only going to be Bundy and his sons.
No, it's the people or not, and you guys need to leave. Okay. You need to leave. That's the
I'm telling you, you need to de-escalate the situation.
No,
I'm imploring upon you to de-escalate the situation.
See, this is what you call escalating. He could leave right now and prevent this and stop trying to order and just leave. But there's this little last control. He could be following orders. He could just be trying to save face.
No, the time to push these people back so they can do the same thing. Push them back so they can do the same thing.
So finally they back away. They cut the sign off. Of course, that's gonna incite the crowd. when
The West has never been won.
the problem with this is when you do something like this, sometimes this will escalate into someone throwing a rock. It only takes one person to really get out of hand here. Throws a rock, hits a guard, then they may return fire, then you have a big firefight. Anytime you have confrontation with multiple groups, anytime you have confrontation with groups of government and rioters or citizens, it only takes one person to get out of hand. So from a government perspective, you want to disengage. As soon as you know that you're going to disengage and get the hell out of there. In law enforcement, I mean, I've been in some areas to where we've had to jump in our cars and leave because the crowd was getting too big. We lost control. It was their neighborhood. We were outnumbered, outmanned, and it was like, you know what? Grab whoever you got in custody, jump in the car, and let's get the hell out of here. And that happens routinely in a lot of your large cities. It happened, I've seen it happen in Oakland. It's happened to me in Vallejo several times. And of course, those is liberal California states where nobody's got guns. But when you get a bunch of people with bottles, rocks, spitting, whatever, shoes, you don't know what's going to come at you and hit you, so you get the hell out of there. So BLM ends up backing out and leaving. For some reason, Facebook has decided to block this video, which just irritates the crap out of me. People need to start paying attention. I mean, I'm telling you, this is horses is a great source of power. Cops, when we have horses, it's good. We have the upper hand. When you get horses out here, they're intimidating. All these ranchers that stood up, all this that happened out here is just a great show and display of how the Second Amendment and how our whole system is designed to stop oppressive governments, to stop a tyrannical government, which we have now. I mean, they're not shooting us in the streets and locking us up yet, but they're on their way. It's getting way out of control. The government doesn't work for the people. The people are slaves, and the government is just growing and growing in power, which is why there's such a great yell to get the guns. They know as long as people have guns, they do not have the ultimate power and they can't overpower and overtake. Otherwise, it takes more groups of people. If you have two equal forces and they're both armed the same, then it's a fair fight. And government doesn't like a fair fight. As a cop, we never wanted a fair fight. We always wanted numbers. We wanted extra lights. We wanted more people. We wanted backup. We wanted radios. We wanted communications. In the military, same thing. You don't want to go on a fight that's fair. You want to have the upper hand. Well, that's how government sees every confrontation with citizens. And the biggest way to gain that advantage and to make sure it isn't fair is to get rid of the guns. So this is a huge cry out to people. Even if you don't own a gun or don't want a gun, you should go buy a gun, bury it, lock it up, keep it, pass it on to your children, whatever. But I'm telling you, once the government gets the guns, they will not be doing this because they'll know they're the only ones with the guns. Once they start mowing down a few people, they know people will start running, and they know it'll end the confrontation. And they know they'll win, and they can do what they want. And every time any government power or bully wins and is able to suppress someone else, their power gets stronger, it goes more to their head, and it's just, it gets more complicated. So, this was a great video. I'll put the link in here. I can't post it. I maybe post my video on Facebook. Since Facebook blocked this, I may post this video on Facebook until they figure out that it's the same video they blocked, and they'll block this one. But the fact that Facebook is being run by the government or state-controlled media and not allowing this to be shared or posted unless you go through another website, to me is just so alarming and so outrageous. I mean, I'll tell you, I hope someone starts a new social media for communication that isn't controlled by the government, because Facebook, Google, Yahoo, all the rest of these liberal, yuppie, liberal get-rich schemes have become government pawns, educated in our liberal system, and they're just going to do whatever the government tells them as long as it's liberal. You know, that's another reason that I think having a conservative in the White House is good, because at least they're checked. I'm not saying the conservatives are perfect. I'm not saying the Republicans are great or good, but at least they're checked, and the media makes them prove things and keeps them in balance. It's a check on the power. When the liberals are in charge, there is no check on the power. And as you can see in this administration, with Obama and Holder and all the crap that's going on in the United States right now, there is no check in power, and it's just ridiculous. So this is a really good video. I'll put the link in here if you want to watch it without me yapping. And it just goes to show that when people get together, you had militia showing up. If there's a militia in your area, I would say join it. Our militias need to grow. We need to get more formulated. I mean, it may sound like I'm being paranoid and I'm anti-government conspiracy, and people are always going to start labeling things like this, but I'm telling you, 20, 30 years ago, this just didn't happen. When I joined the military, and back in the 70s, well, we wouldn't do things like that. You just didn't see things like that. The government was much more in check, and it was still run by the people, and the people still had say. And now, the people do not have say. The politicians have say, and the people are just pawns to pay taxes to fund their power and their control over everybody. So, hopefully you'll enjoy the video, and we'll end that there. And hopefully Facebook, I can sneak this on the back door of Facebook until they block this piece of shit communist site.